Good morning students, welcome to the English class. So students, I am Dr. Tripti Gupta from Shivjyoti Education Group Kota. Now today we are here to take up some topics from grammar. Now today's topic is models, which we are going to take up in today's class. So let us look about what models are all about. Okay students, so to understand models, we have to first understand that these models are auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs, that means we also know them as helping verbs. Like you must have been aware of that be is a verb which is an auxiliary verb. Now here, like model as an auxiliary verb, there are various models like will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought, need, dare and few more. Okay. So, now first of all, the words which are used before the principal verb to express the ideas, so which ideas are required to be expressed? Ability, probability, permission, command, compulsion, duty, obligation, proprietary. Now see here, the various ideas which we are talking about here are these ideas which I just told you. Now how to express these, how to give the impression and how to express these ideas while we are framing our sentences, then we need to take the help of models. Those are the auxiliary verbs. These are called models. So these words which are being categorized, very categorically used to express these ideas, we call them as models. So as I have already given you an idea that how many there are, like can, could, shall, should. So they are not used alone, first of all. Next aspect is that they are always used with the principal verb that follows them. Principal verb is the main verb. Okay, this is the helping verb. So you have to understand the difference between the helping verb, that is the auxiliary verb, which the model where this word is being used, and it is used along with the principal verb. Okay. So there will be a main verb, that is like I can write. Now here I can write. Can is showing the ability and write is the principal verb which is being used along with can, that is the model. Okay, that is the auxiliary verb. Now, so together with the principal verb, they express the mode or manner of the action denoted by the verb. So how we about writing? See, verb main action is write. Okay, so both the verbs, they will in combine, they will give this expression of ability which is being there with the subject about writing. So that is how we express the various ideas along with principal verbs. Okay. Now students, with the help of this table which is there in front of you, we will take up individual auxiliary verbs, these models, one by one, understanding their use, whatever the possible idea that word can be used and it can express in a particular sentence. Okay. Now here, let us see first word, that is can. Okay. Now can gives you an expression of ability. It also gives you an expression of when something is possible, that means possibility. Then for permission also we can use can. Similarly for making informal requests. Now, let us see here the different examples that how we can use can. Okay, students, so now let us see few examples here, like I can write Tamil. Now, which expression you get here? The expression which we get here is ability. Okay. Now, another example I will show you is for, let us discuss about a very important one, that is permission. Now here it can be used in interrogative form of sentence, like can I enter the room? Now, what is been happening here? See here, this is an interrogative sentence and it is starting with the model can, see here, okay, and here since it is an interrogative sentence, the auxiliary verb will come first, it will precede the subject. No, this is your subject, okay, so it will come before the subject and then it will, the rest of the predicate part will come afterwards. Now, what permission it has been asking? This is an informal request which is been taken. Okay, so an informal request, or it can also be considered to be a, even we can have, can I come inside, like this. So, can I enter the room? So, this is a permission. Okay. So, okay students, now let us discuss the examples for all these different expressions which we have taken here, we have understood regarding can. Now, first example, see here, I can do several things. Now, here I can do several things is so giving you an idea about the ability that the subject here, this is the subject here, and he has the ability to do. What the ability is there? To do several things at the same time. Okay, so this is a particular ability which is possessed by the subject here. Okay, so here, see here, the can is being used with the principal verb. This is our principal verb. Okay, and can is the model which is used here as auxiliary verb. So, that is probably this is now clear to you. Now, let us move to the second aspect, that when something is possible. So, to show the possibility we can also use can. Okay, like miracles can happen. Here again we have used can, and here there is a possibility that miracles can happen. Okay, so there is a possibility. Now, the next one is permission. You can go now. Now, a permission has been granted to the subject, you can go now. Okay. Now, similarly, see here, there is an interrogative sentence. Now, what is happening? Can, that is the auxiliary verb, is preceding the subject. This is your subject, okay, you, and can is preceding the subject because it is the auxiliary verb, and we will write the interrogative sentence in this format. Okay. So, can you come here for a minute? Now, this is an informal way of requesting a person. In a very informal way, in a friendly manner, we are making a request by using the model can. Okay. So, now let us move to the next model, that is the past form of can, that is could. Now, see here, could is the past form of can, and so first of all, it is the, as I was saying, past form of the can. So here what we do, she said she could pay for us as well. Something happened in the past and there the subject showed the ability that she can pay. Now this was being said earlier in the past, some time ago it was being said in the past time which has already been passed. So now to represent that past tense and the ability aspect also, we will use the past form of can, that is could. So sentence is like that, she said, that means it is in past, and what she said, she could pay for us as well, that means she is showing the ability that she could pay. Now, so this has been clear here, past form. Now let us move to the next aspect for which could can be used, that is for making polite request, like could you please pass me the pen, or could you please give me a glass of water. This is a very polite way of saying. See here, could you move your bag please. So this is an interrogative sentence, as we can see here. So could comes, it precedes the subject, this is the subject here, okay. So subject comes afterwards and this is the model and it comes before the subjects. That is how we ask the interrogative sentences, okay. So here we are making a request. So for making request, normally we ask the question, we request the person in an interrogative sentence. Now another aspect is possibility, like we could get the train together. Now here see, could has been used to show the possibility that we could get, something has been possible, okay. So what can happen, we could get the train together, this is possible. So to show this possibility we can also use could. Now similarly another model which we need to discuss here is may. Now this model is being prominently used to show the possibility. She may come tomorrow, that there is a possibility that she may come tomorrow. See here the example, it may rain tomorrow. There is a possibility that it may rain tomorrow. To show this possibility, very commonly this model may is being used, okay. Now for another thing is ask for or give permission in a formal manner, okay, not in an informal manner. For informal we used can, okay. For a formal permission we will use may. Normally we ask a formal permission, okay. So most of the time you will find may is being used in interrogative sentences like this here, may I ask. So may here is being used before the subject and then an interrogative sentence is being used to take the formal permission, may. So may I speak. So this is here we have used the model may for seeking a formal permission in an interrogative sentence. Normally we use may in an interrogative format to seek the permission. What we are doing? We are asking for permission, okay. So for asking, naturally we have to frame an interrogative sentence. So in this manner the may model here, it will precede the subject, as we have seen earlier also, okay. So now this was all about may. Now let us move to the past form of may, that is might. That means if we want to express the possibility or if we want to seek permission and then too it happened in past somewhere, so we need to use the past form. So here might is the past form of may, it is the past form, okay. So how we will use it? See, he said he might change his mind. What he said earlier? He said in some time back that time which has already passed in the past tense. So, he might change his mind. There is a possibility that he may change his mind. This was being said earlier. Okay. So, it has to be told in past tense. So, that is why we have used might. That is the past form. Okay. Now, next aspect is possibility. Here, this might fail. Now, here might is reflecting, it is expressing another way of expressing possibility. This might fail, a bit more informal way of saying expressing possibility. Okay. It might rain today, another example for this. Okay. Now, let us move to the next model here, that is must. Now, must is being a word which reflects that you have to do something. There is a feeling of obligation. Okay. Whenever there is a feeling of duty or obligation, then we use must. That means you have to do it. There is certain level of obligation and compulsion that has to be obeyed or that has to be followed by the subject. Okay. See here how we use it. You must obey the law. What you must have to do? You have to obey the law. So, in place of saying it, we can use must as the model here and we can frame the sentence, you must obey the law. So, this is how we show the obligation. This is obligatory for you. Okay. Now, another expression is, it's very logical or very likely to happen. If something is almost, it may happen like that. Okay. There is lots of likeliness that it will happen. Okay. So, see here the example. They left so early, they must be home by now. Okay. Now, here something which we presume that it must have happened. Like I will give you one more example, that they must have reached the station. That means we are quite certain, it is very much possible that they must have reached railway station. Okay. So, in this manner we are expressing a very high possibility, almost confirmation of that action must have been done. Okay. So, this is also another way in which we use the model must. Now, there is a negative form of must not, like see here, must not, or we also call it as mustn't. Now, here for what reason, what exactly we need to express here is, you are not allowed to do it. That means certain things which are restricted for you, which you do not have to do. That means you are bound to follow this rule that certain restrictions are there, and to show those restrictions or wherever you are not being permitted to do certain things, then we use this model must not. Okay. So, you must not smoke in here. Okay. So, in this manner we use this model here. See, that means this is the no smoking zone and you must not do this action here. So, you are being restrained, you are being restricted to do that action. Okay. So, now let us move to the next set of models which are coming forward, that is shall, should, will and would. Now,